Hey guys, it's me. I am attempting to do a homework video by myself, so just bear with me and we'll see how it goes. Today we're going to be talking about multiples and factors, and we will do a couple problems from our homework together. Alright, let's get started. First, we're going to start by talking about the difference between multiples and factors. First, we'll start with multiples. A multiple is the product of any number multiplied by a counting number. So if you look here, here's multiples of 6. 6 times 1 is 6, so 6 is a multiple of 6. 6 times 2 is 12, so 12 is a multiple of 6. 6 times 3 is 18, so 18 is a multiple of 6. 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 5 is 30. And this could go on forever. 6 times 6, 6 times 7, 6 times 8. You could just go on and on and on, and you'd get a pretty long list. Down here I showed some multiples of 4. 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, and 4 times 5 is 20. So those are some multiples of 4. So there we've got some things about multiples. Let's chat a little bit about factors. Ooh, sorry, these dogs are going a little bit crazy. Hey, enough guys. Hey! Enough. Come here. Okay, enough. Move. Get down. Oh my gosh. All right, everybody relax. Everybody relax. Relax. All right, let's chat a little bit about factors. A factor is a number that can be multiplied by another number. So if you look at factors of 12, I showed the 3 ways that we can break down 12. We've got 12 times 1, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Those are called factor pairs. The 12 and the 1 are a pair, the 2 and the 6 are a pair, and the 3 and the 4 are a pair. When you list factors, you list them from least to greatest. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. I also showed you 18. There's factors of 18. We've got 1 times 18, 2 times 9, and 6 times 3. Once we list those factors from least to greatest, we get 1, 2, 3, 9, and 12. Mostly this chapter we're talking about factors and factor families. And we kind of dealt with multiples in the last chapter. So this chapter, I really want students to understand what factors and factor families are. Next, let's talk a little bit about divisibility. So you can tell if a number is a factor of another number by using some of these easy rules. So when you look at the number 5 and you want to know if something is divisible by 5, it only is if the number ends in 0 or 5. So 25 is divisible by 5 because 5 times 5 is 25. And 30 is divisible by 5 because 6 times 5 is 30. So any number that ends in a 0 or a 5 is divisible by 5. And that is questions 5 through 8 on the homework tonight. Some other divisibility rules. If for 6, this one's also on the homework, the number must be even. Robot, stop. The number must be even, and the sum of the numbers need to be divisible by 3. For a number to be divisible by 2, it must be even, and for a number to be divisible by 3, the sum of the numbers must be divisible by 3. So that's a little bit about divisibility. So let's check out some homework questions. So question number 11 asks us to list all the factors of 48. So we can do that by asking ourselves what numbers times together to get 48. So always start off with the easy one. That's 1 times 48. And then you can ask yourself, well, is it divisible by 2? It is because it's even. So you can know that it's divisible by 2 because it ends in an 8. So you can use some scratch paper and you can find out exactly what number times 2 equals 48. 2 goes into 4 2 times, 4, 2 goes into 8, Brother, bring down. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and you get 24 and 2. So 24 times 2, that's a factor pair of 48. So then you can think about 3. All right, well, if we add 8 and 4, and the sum of that is divisible by 3, then 48 is divisible by 3. So 8 plus 4 is 12, and 12 is divisible by 3 because 3 times 4 is 12. That means that 48 is divisible by 3. So we can come over to some scratch paper and figure out 3 times what equals 48. 3 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract. And 3 goes into 18 6 times. So 16 times 3 is a factor pair of 48. So you can think about, for 4, there really is no test. You just have to do the division and find out. So let's see if 4 is a factor here. So 4 goes into 4 one time. 4, brother, bring down. 4 goes into 8 2 times, so 12. So 4 times 12 is a factor pair. 5 isn't a factor pair because it doesn't end in a 0 or 5. We know that 6 times 8 is 48, so that takes care of 6 and 8. Nothing times 9 equals 48. So those are all of our pairs. If we list them from greatest to least, we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we get 6. Then we get 8. Then we get 12. Then we get 16, 24, and 48. And all of those numbers are factors of 48 because each of them times together with another number to make 48. Let's look at number 12. It's a word problem. I'm going to read it. It says, Bryson buys a bag of 64 miniature dinosaurs. Could he distribute them equally into 6 storage containers and not have any left over? So the real question here is 6 a factor of 64? Can he divide them into 6 storage containers and equally and not have them any left over? So is 6 a factor of 64? So if we use our divisibility rules, we can ask ourselves, 6 has 2 things that must be true. 1, the number has to be even, and the sum of the numbers have to be divisible by 3. So is 64 even? Yes, it's even because it ends in 4. And 6 plus 4 is 10, but 10 is not divisible by 3. So 6 is not a factor of 44 because there's no number times 6 that equals 64. 6 times 10 is 60, and 6 times 11 is 66, and that falls right in the middle. Hold on, robot, I got one problem left, okay? Let's look at number 13. It's also a word problem. It says Lori wants to distribute 35 peaches equally into baskets. She will use more than 1, but fewer than 10 baskets. How many baskets does Lori need? So the real question here is, which number between 2 and 9 is a factor of 35, and there's only one of them. It's not 2. I'm going to write all those numbers down. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's not 2 because the number's not even. 35 is odd. It's not 3 because 5 plus 3 is 8, and that's not divisible by 3. It's not 4 because 4 times 9 is 36, and 4 times 8 is 32, and that's in the middle. It's not 6 because 6 times 6 is 36 and 6 times 5 is 30, so it's not that. It's not 7. Nothing times 7 equals 35. It's not 8. Nothing times 8 equals 35. It's not 9 because 9 times 4 is 36. It ends in 5, so it's got to be 5. That's the number of baskets that she's going to use, and she will put 6 peaches in each basket. I know that was kind of a long video, guys. I hope you stuck with me and you were kind of able to get some of those answers to that homework tonight. I hope I see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a great night. Like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.